This morning, dozens of schools closed as the rain comes down in Madison. We have live looks from the Beltline on your live drive all morning.
And we do have the alert day. This rain eventually changing over to some snow, and it could be heavy at times this morning.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning on this Thursday, February 9th. I'm Josh Breiter.
And I'm Chris Stanford. The weather is the big story of the day. In the last hour, we've seen more than 50 schools call it a day and keep those kiddos home out of an abundance of caution. But so far, all we've seen here in the Madison Metro is rain.
It's been all the big schools, too. They're making that call super early. Kelly Slifka's out on the weather patio this morning. Kelly, we're still seeing rain here on the southwest side. Yeah,
we're still waiting for this to transition. I've actually lowered the snow amounts a little bit from what we had earlier because it has been mainly rain, but we are still expecting some accumulating snow to develop once this switches over. Usually the transition is when we start to see the heaviest snow come down, but it has not done so yet in the Madison area. Looking at total snow accumulations of 2 to 6 inches, but with temperatures above freezing throughout the day, this really isn't going to accumulate too much, maybe for a time as that snow comes down at a pretty good clip over the next few hours. But in general, a lot of this is going to be melting on contact. So you can see the Doppler track right on the edge of that rain snow. But once again, here on the south side, at least, it's mainly just rain. Eventually, there should be enough cold air aloft that this should change over to some snow. And it could come down fairly heavily, at least for the morning commute, into the noon hour before things start to wind down. This is our future track radar looking at the snow mainly from the Wisconsin River Valley through the Madison area over toward Watertown. That looks like to be the heaviest band of snow, or at least where it will set up. And therefore, we do have winter weather advisories for most areas. Winter storm warning, we're near Platteville. You could be talking about 6 inches, maybe 7 inches as well. Temperatures, as mentioned, above freezing, so a lot of this is just melting on contact. And you can see across Dane County, everybody above freezing. As mentioned, I did lower those snowfall totals for today. We'll have an hour-by-hour outlook on that coming up in about 15 minutes.
Sounds good, Kelly. Okay, so if you're impatient this morning and you don't want to wait for your school to come up on the school watch this morning, you could always find it at channel3000.com. And if you had our First Warn Weather app or our Channel 3000 News app, you'd be able to find those school closings on there as well. If you don't have it, just search WISC Weather or Channel 3000 in your app store.
You can also just watch the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, we want you to keep watching. Don't get me wrong. We don't want you to leave.
Them away.
While you're watching, pull your phone up and get the app.
Hey, we want to congratulate the First Warn Weather team this morning for the 3rd year in a row. Their forecasts have been rated, yeah, as Madison's most accurate. We love to see it. This award is given by WeatherRate. It is a big deal. It's an independent forecast measuring company, so congrats to them.
Did you say three years in a row?
3 years in a row now.
3 years in a row.
3 years for 3.
Best of the best. All right, let's get back out on the roads this morning on the live drive. Mark Schilling's been driving the Beltline all morning long, and this is as heavy as we've seen it, but so far just wet roads. One of the issues could be, that, all the salt and the pre-treating that they've done is going to get washed away by all this rain. And then if there's, the potential of ice maybe on top of that, and then the snow starts falling, things could get slick out there. We're going to keep tracking the conditions for you with live updates throughout the show here on News 3 Now this morning.
Let's take a live look at the Wisconsin 511 map and see what the conditions are looking like across the state. Mainly good winter driving conditions right now. Those green lines, that's all good conditions. There is some pink out there. That means some slippery stretches. Sometimes that tends to overdo it just a little bit for some of those patchy areas out there. But just keep that in mind. We do expect this to change, and we will be monitoring it by the hour.
New this morning, not guilty plea has been entered for the owner of a Linden Station bar accused of trying to blow it up last year. 43-year-old Heath Fjorden of Baraboo faces 5 felony charges from that September 1st fire and explosion at Beagle's Bar. A criminal complaint says investigators found overturned gas cans and soaked rags in the bar's basement after firefighters put out the flames. A trial in the case is now scheduled for next January.
Madison police say a bank robbery suspect spit in an officer's face during the arrest. Investigators say an officer found him hiding out in a bathroom at a Madison shelter and found evidence linking him to a bank robbery at Park Bank on East Main Street. This is not the right video there. Police say he slipped the teller a note last Friday demanding money and never showed a weapon. At the time, he got away with a significant amount of cash. Now he'll be facing additional charges for discharging bodily fluids at a public worker. Madison police say a bank robbery suspect spit in an officer's face during the arrest. Investigators say an officer found him hiding out in a bathroom at the Madison shelter and found evidence linking him to a bank robbery at Park Bank. This is that same story there. We're talking about him spitting in the officer's face. Again, he faces multiple charges.
This is a different story about how Madison police and other agencies just arrested 3 teenagers for a bunch of burglaries and stolen cars. 16 charges in all. A big multi-agency effort there as they crack down on those crimes in the Madison area. Okay, now to one of 2 men charged in a deadly shooting in downtown Madison from last spring. One of those defendants has been sentenced to life in prison. 21-year-old Damani Cummins pleaded guilty to 1 count of first-degree intentional homicide. He was arrested in connection with the shooting right outside of the Dane County Jail last March. At the time, Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes called the shooting very brazen and later added that it was premeditated, pre-planned, and targeted. A decision on whether or not Cummins is eligible for early release will be made at a later date.
6:05 right now. President Biden's visit to Dane County was the president's first stop after his State of the Union address. Our Armand Rahman reports on the historic day for Wisconsin.
Well, hello, Madison. Hello, laborers. And
the president's speech often felt like a conversation aimed at the laborers listening to him in DeForest.
For too long, workers have been getting stiffed. When jobs move overseas, factories at home close down. You saw it in Janesville.
He focused on his support for unions and the jobs he says his American Rescue Plan is funding.
Workforce development programs, including $128 million here in Wisconsin, dollars in Wisconsin, so American workers are prepared to compete in the economy we're building.
It was a stop many speculate was the soft launch of a re-election campaign. Congressman Mark Pocan was aboard Air Force One, welcoming the president into Dane County for the first time.
So he's really focusing on places like Wisconsin where we want to get people back to work.
It wasn't just job creation the president touted. He broke down what he calls the broken infrastructure and transportation he plans to fix in the state.
The Wisconsin River Bridge. Here in Madison, the mayor can tell you we're using the funding to buy 46 electric buses, replacing dirty diesel buses.
I mean, those are all great successes, but he also talked about what we have yet to do.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway listed what she believes should be priorities.
Washington must take action to help cities by addressing homelessness, expanding services for mental health, and protecting our civil rights, our reproductive rights, and especially our voting rights.
President Biden ended echoing his State of the Union speech the night before that success is possible with both sides of the aisle.
There's nothing beyond our capacity if we work together.
In Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
There are also a lot of state and federal lawmakers from our area that took part in the president's visit. Here are, Governor Evers, Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway, and Patrick Miles, the chair of the Dane County Board of Supervisors, all getting together for a selfie.
Look at that, a selfie with the prez.
That's what everybody wants now. It's no longer autographs. Everybody wants the selfie now.
Let's get a selfie. That's a pretty good selfie, if I don't say so myself there, too.
Yeah, not too bad. 8 minutes after 6 now. If you are a 90s kid, you remember sitting down at the lunchroom table, taking off your starter jacket? I had one of those. Did you have a starter jacket?
I did not.
No? And trading snacks from your Ninja Turtles lunchbox. That sounds like my childhood growing up.
That's Chris Stanford all the way. You can relive those days at a New Madison restaurant. The owners of Hot Lunch have a pretty cool take on why they're recreating the 90s and why every tray has a treat. Here's our Brady Mallory.
Okay. Here's the 411 on this kitchen.
All right, so we take the bread here.
Sandwiched between recipes of family favorites.
Some Duke's mayo.
And modern twists.
And finish it with a little bit more of that root beer glaze.
There's always
And every tray
something
comes with
special.
some candy.
If you think it's just dessert, as if, there's a better reason.
I never got the treat in my lunch sack when I was growing up, or like your lunch bag or anything. I just wanted to make sure everyone had like that treat on their tray now.
That's the vibe here at Hot Lunch on East Johnson in Madison. You'll notice it's a time capsule. The purple paint, Adam Sandler, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Turtle Power, and clear plastic phone are all callbacks to the 1990s. And if you're lucky, you can even hear best friends Michael Cerv and Roger Bartz, who happen to own the place, quote, 1995's Billy Madison.
Carl, good to see you. So we're gonna need a 9-iron, a bucket of ice, and a buffalo, preferably stuffed.
So why focus on the 1990s? A decade Gen Z college kids now think is cool. Both men are 90s kids and want to celebrate their childhoods and bring back what they call a simpler time.
Oh, it's awesome. Definitely reminds me of like nostalgia growing up as a 90s kid.
Then there's the food.
All of those kind of remind you somewhat of something that you could find in a lunchroom if it were much better, obviously.
That's the goal. Cerv and Bartz want Hot Lunch to have a better menu and be a better version of the 90s school lunchrooms they grew up in.
We knew the concept was working when one day strangers were trading the candy. Yeah. It's like, oh, all right, it's working.
The cafeteria may not have always been excellent for everyone, so Hot Lunch has one rule.
There's no cool tables here, though. Everyone has to get along. But there's been no issues with that so far. If you're here, you're automatically a cool kid, I think.
You don't need to be a detective like Ace Ventura, and Clarissa doesn't need to explain it all to figure this out about Hot Lunch. Well, sandwiched in between 90s nostalgia and a good meal, there's just something special.
Like we try and have something for everybody. And that was also kind of the point of the thematic choices too, where there's a little bit of levity to it. Nothing is too serious.
Do you remember those gushers?
How could you forget?
Oh my gosh, I can taste it. You can find Hot Lunch's hours, address, and menu under this story on our website. How cool.
Yeah. Hey, we want to address an issue with channel3000.com. We think everyone crashed our school closings page. There are so many of them. We have over 76 school closings that have come in within the last hour or so. And currently, they're not showing up on our app or our website. Good thing they're scrolling at the bottom of our screen right now. I think you guys overloaded the system. I mean, because it's so popular right now. Our school closings page is the most popular, is the most clicked on thing we have on channel3000.com.
I think we kind of jinxed it earlier saying we wanted people to watch the scroll at the bottom of the screen, so that's probably what happened.
We jinxed it.
We manifested that. Sorry, you're gonna have to watch at the bottom of the screen. I mean, most schools are closed this morning.
Just about everybody, at least in the immediate Madison metro area and to the south and to the west of our viewing area, the Platteville area, they're all closed. So stick around and you can wait until your school comes up on the ticker.
Keep watching. 6:12 right now. Coming up, also ahead, a local community honors a teen gone too soon. How you can help them make a splash for a good cause right here in the 608.
And let's look at those conditions that have closed schools. It's rain. At this point, Mark Schilling has been driving on the Beltline all morning, giving us up-to-the-minute condition reports. We're going to see this eventually, well, it's forecast to eventually change over into snow. We'll keep checking those conditions for you right here on News 3 Down the Sport.
Right now is absolutely the best time of year to buy furniture, and Slumberland Furniture is the best place during our huge President's Sale. Check out this gorgeous sectional, and it comes with a free ottoman, plus so much more during our huge President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Garage doors do not like the cold weather at all. As soon as it gets cold springs, parts will burn.
At Precision, we always come fully stocked. We're able to typically solve most garage door problems within a couple of hours.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Only at Vanguard, you're more than just an investor. You're an owner.
We got this, babe.
That means that financial planning tools can help you reach them. That's the value of ownership.
It's Hy-Vee's Super 7 sale. Get 7 products at a super price for 7 hours. Thursday only from 2 till 9 p.m. Hy-Vee shredded cheese, 4 for just $5. Chips Ahoy cookies, just $1.49. Fresh Express salads, only 88 cents. Pringles, only $1. Tyson Anytizers or strips, just $4.99. A Hy-Vee Chinese meal, just $5. And pork shoulder roast, only $1.28 a pound. Thursday only at Hy-Vee.
Don't delay. The Brothers Maine President's Day sale is happening now. Shop local and save with tremendous deals on Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Amana appliances. We have the area's largest selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
At Overture Center, February 21st through 26th. Get your tickets today at overture.org.
Look! It's easy to say things. Anyone can do that.
Look closer.
Meaning what you say, that's a little harder. And a little harder to find. But at US Cellular, when we say you get unlimited data for $29.99 per line, we don't mean only if you get 4 lines. We mean $29.99 per line, even 1. Plus, every plan is price protected for every customer.
This ring is a commitment. After we got married, I got very sick. He would come every day to help me walk again. And now I'm back. This is a reminder
that love endures all.
Express your extraordinary love. Jared, love brilliantly.
Looking at mattresses?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable. That's why Slumberland has modernized the process. Right now at our huge President's Sale, get this Sealy Posturepedic mattress for $5.99. Slumberland, mattress shopping reinvented.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
We're back at 6:16. Time to slow things down and see what's happening in the 608 this morning. Dipper Dozer is set to celebrate 18 years in giving back in Cambridge this weekend, and you are invited to be part of it. Dipper Dozer is the primary fundraising event for the Dozer 52 Football Scholarship. It was established in memory of Dustin Dozer Zulsdorf. The dip has become a local tradition and brings many back home for the weekend. The funds are raised right here at home and stay local. Dippers, sponsors, and spectators can all take pride in making these scholarships possible. It has very special meaning to Dozer's former coach.
Couldn't be any prouder of them. You know, now they're all growing families. They're living throughout the community. You know, very successful people. And I think at that point in time, there was a direction they could head. And all of them chose the high road.
Since 2004, the Dozer 52 Football Scholarship has awarded over $200,000 to 78 Cambridge students. This year's dip is set for this Saturday. The fun starts at 8:30 in the morning at Lake Ripley Park Beach in Cambridge. You can find a link with more information on channel3000.com. Coming up in our next half hour, you'll hear from both Dozer's brother and a family friend on that positive impact being made right there in that community.
What a legacy.
Isn't that something?
Oh, it really is. Love seeing the communities come together, too, especially when they come back into town for something you know how important that is.
It's those small towns that just bring the energy. I know because I'm from one of those. Yeah. So bring the community together for a good cause.
You love to see it.
We do.
Hey, remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. Reach out to him on social media or email him for a chance to be featured.
All right, let's get to Kelly Slifka now and his alert day forecast. Boy, this is a tricky forecast, Kelly.
It is, but we still have the first warn alert day today because we are expecting this rain that's coming down pretty heavily to eventually change over to snow. It just has not done so. I have lowered the snowfall totals because this transition is taking a little bit longer than what we were expecting, but still 2, 3, 4 inches of snow, some isolated spots, maybe 5 or 6. And this this is going to be that really heavy, sloppy, slushy snow because it's got a lot of moisture in it. Can see some wind gusts down in the south, 24-mile-per-hour gusts there in Monroe with some pretty good rains from Monroe to Janesville. We had the steady rains, maybe mixing with a little bit of sleet, but you can see primarily Madison just seeing the rain. Now, our high-resolution radar is indicating some snow along the Wisconsin River Valley, and it looks like the heaviest snow is going to fall from basically from Platteville to northern parts of Dane County, then up through Columbia and also Dodge counties up toward Juneau. But right now, mainly just rain in Madison. This should change over to some snow. We're counting on that to happen fairly shortly. And then looking at our future radar, you can see that it does indicate some snow. And when it does transition to snow, it will come down pretty heavily. Reducing visibilities might accumulate on the roads, but temperatures generally throughout the day are going to remain pretty steady in the mid-30s, so I don't expect any of this to freeze on contact. Either way, the Weather Service does have winter weather advisories for most areas. They still have the winter storm warning here in Grant County. Temperatures right now, as mentioned, above freezing, 34 in Madison, 36 in Janesville with rain, Monroe 33, the Dells 34. I don't even expect much snow to fall north of the Dells. As we go through the morning hours into the afternoon, you can see that we will see that snow steady and eventually switching to snow. Still some rain here by the mid-morning hours in Janesville, eventually seeing some of that transition to snow later this morning. As we get in the early afternoon hours, things should start to move on to the east, and we'll just see some flurries later today. I've downgraded a little bit at 3 to 6. I think 6 is max, and that will probably be isolated. A lot of this is going to be melting on contact. 1 to 3 inches basically from the Dells areas to the south. So our first warn forecast, the alert day today. Temperatures holding steady with that heavier snow tapering off during the afternoon. A dry day tomorrow, but much cooler. High of 30. Weekend looks pretty good as we warm up to about 40 on Sunday.
All right, Kelly, thank you. 6:20 right now. Coming up, new video of a baby giraffe making its prediction of the Super Bowl.
And as we go to break, another look at the live drive is we are waiting for this light rain. The rain has lightened up just a little bit to transition over into some wet, heavy snow. We are up to 79 school closings. We are experiencing some difficulties with channel3000.com. I think all of the people on it overwhelmed the system.
I think so too.
I think it's just been so popular. You guys crashed the website. We are going to take a break and reminder, you can keep watching along the bottom of the screen.
Old-fashioned scroll.
I know. Some nostalgia here.
We were talking about the 90s earlier, too, so.
Wait for your school district to come up. Maybe it won't. We're back after this.
Channel 3000 Plus. Watch from your streaming media player or mobile device.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
PBS Wisconsin presents the 2023 Garden and Landscape Expo, February 10th through 12th at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Join us for an exhibitor mall, photo competition, and get your hands in the dirt with stage demos and more. Plus, say hello to Nature Cat and Daniel Tiger in our kids and family area. Information and schedule at wigardenexpo.com. See you there.
Hi, I'm Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I'm excited to tell you about our new Wild Theory CBD products that will get you high fives from everyone you know. Wild Theory's new groundbreaking formula has higher levels of the good stuff, and it packs surprising results. Is it legal in Wisconsin? Of course. Is it potent? You bet. Will you love it? I'm sure of it. Stop by one of our Madison locations or visit findyourhealthyplace.com, type in high five, and our website will hook you up.
This President's Day, people are buzzing about my highly rated... Exactly, my highly rated bedrooms. Like my Tremont Queen bedroom set. Right, my romantic Scarlet collection. Go glam with Diva 2. And my Keystone Storage bunk bed for the kiddos. Find your forever bedroom at Bob's Discount Furniture. Is this what going viral is? See what all the buzz is about this President's Day weekend at Bob's.
Oh,
The weather. What's the chance of rain tomorrow?
Ooh, 80%. I make it rain. I make it rain.
Speaking of making it rain, at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, we have an average 95% payout, which leads you to more chances of playing longer and more chances to win big. Play longer, win more, chances are you're gonna like it.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobeson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobeson.com to apply.
We're back 6:24. Hey, it's Super Bowl weekend coming up.
Almost forgot.
And I know, right? We've been so busy with all the school closings and the weather this morning. So yeah, Super Bowl weekend, and this time of year, a lot of zoos, you know, they try to get their animals to make predictions.
Yeah, so we have the latest one here. Bakari, a baby giraffe calf, made his Super Bowl pick at the Des Moines Zoo. What's he going for? Oh, he picks the Chiefs instead of the Philadelphia Eagles. So each logo, we're told, had a similar number of branches with green leaves on it so as to not influence that decision.
Yeah, you want it to be fair when the giraffe is choosing.
Some little treat on the Chiefs.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's going to be a big game. I'm so astounded by the number of people who are betting on the Super Bowl this year, now that sports betting is legal in so many states.
Yeah, it goes up and up every year. It's insane.
And tens of billions of dollars people are putting down on the big game this weekend. All right, let's talk about the weather this morning. We're waiting for that rain to transition over into snow.
Yeah, we still got the rain falling here. Our first WARN high-resolution radar just showing mainly rain in Madison. It does indicate maybe a little bit of snow mixing in off to the west and north. Looks like the heaviest band of snow, once it does transition, will be along and south of the Wisconsin River Valley, from Lone Rock toward Mineral Point through Madison and then up into Dodge and Columbia County. Looks like to be the heaviest expected. You can see on our future track, it does expect it to change over to some snow. It could become heavy once it does transition. Therefore, we do have the winter weather advisories in effect. Temperatures, thankfully, are above freezing, as we will see readings holding the mid-30s with some heavier snow expected this morning.
A look at the roads here on the live drive. We're back after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
A former prosecutor, now circuit court judge, Janet Protasewicz. On the Supreme Court, she'll be a common-sense judge. She believes in abortion rights, fairness for all, and protecting public safety. Janet Protasewicz for Supreme Court.
It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. Get started on your next Ford truck. Like a next-generation pickup. Get here for a deal on F-Series. America's best-selling trucks, 46 years straight. It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. During Auto Show, choose Flex Buy on F-150 with 2.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus 1,000 credit cash and 1,000 Auto Show cash.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833-WISC-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We have been fighting and winning for people injured by big trucks for more than 30 years. Let us do the same for you. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Chicago. Celebrating 25 years of Broadway razzle-dazzle. The Associated Press calls Chicago the most entertaining musical of the decade. Paint the town again with Chicago the Musical.
At Overture, March 21st through 26th. Tickets at overture.org.
I'm going for Judge Janet
Protasiewicz? You don't need to know how to say Protasiewicz to know that Judge Janet believes in abortion rights, fairness, and public safety.
Protasiewicz.
This morning, dozens of schools closed as rain changes over into snow. In southern Wisconsin, we have live drive coverage to help get you out the door.
And eventually this rain will change over to snow. We do have an alert day for this morning into the afternoon.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning on a Thursday morning. I'm Josh Brighter.
I'm Chris Stanford. So far, it's not a snow day. It's a rain day. As about 80 schools have now canceled class for today. And we do want to tell everybody we're getting your emails, we're getting your phone calls about channel3000.com's school closings page, which is down at the moment.
We are aware, yes. We are working to get that fixed.
We think you overwhelmed it. It's our most popular webpage by far, and there have been so many school closings coming in since 5. A lot of these schools made the call.
Early call.
Yeah, they made it around 5:30 this morning, and I think we just inundated the system and crashed it. So we're working on getting that back up. In the meantime, you can watch along the bottom of your screen and wait for your community to show up.
Let's get to meteorologist Kelly Slifka with your first look at the forecast on this alert day. Out on the weather patio, no umbrella now, Kelly.
I forgot it. Yeah, so you guys are making me stand out here and just looking like a wet dog out here on the patio. But that's what we've got. Just got the rain falling out here right now. But we do have the alert day. Eventually this will change over, and once it does, it could become heavy at times this morning. I've downgraded the snow accumulations because by this time we thought this would change over about 2 to 6 inches, and at any given point we won't ever have that much on the ground because it's going to be melting, because temperatures will remain above freezing throughout the day. Right now our Doppler track, we've got the rain in Madison. It wants to show some of that transition to the west now into western parts of Dane County and along the Wisconsin River Valley. Quickly drops off up to the north, so you get north of the Dells, you might only see a few flurries, and that's about it. While the heaviest snow band is expected to set up from about Platteville through Mineral Point, the Madison area, at least the northern side, up into Dodge and Columbia counties looks to be where we'll see the heaviest snow. And you can see on our future track radar, looking at the snow, fairly steady once it transitions with more rain down the south. But we do have winter weather advisories for most areas. However, it does not include areas north of the Dells. Winter storm warnings for maybe a little bit more snow in southern parts of Grant County. But as mentioned, we're all above freezing. But as that snow starts to come down, it may accumulate in some slushy accumulation on those roads, and obviously reduce visibilities once this does transition over to some snow, and then just some lighter snow for the noon hour and flurries for the afternoon. Good news, temperatures do hold above freezing, but we will be tracking that hour by hour snowfall coming up in just a little bit.
All right, come in and dry off, Kelly.
Okay.
You can stay on top of the weather. That is working this morning. We think it's working. I shouldn't say that. I'm pretty sure the forecast, the weather page is working at channel3000.com and on our News 3 Now mobile app. If you don't have our apps, get them. They're very handy.
It appears it's just the Channel 3000 school alert page that is down, but you never know. No. Well, hey, we want to congratulate our First Warn weather team this morning. For the third year in a row, their forecasts have been rated Madison's most accurate. 3 for 3. That is huge. This award is given by WeatherRate, an independent forecast measuring company. We know they're the best, and now we can prove it once again.
Certified most accurate. We get to keep saying that for another 12 months.
You betcha.
Very nice. Hey, let's get a look at those road conditions now. Mark Schilling is out on the Beltline. He is driving in some wet conditions, as he has been all morning. Everybody's waiting very patiently for the snow to transition. But so far, nothing. No snow in the immediate metro area. Some folks to the south and to the west may be seeing some flakes, but so far here in Dane County, we have not seen any snow yet. We'll keep checking in on the live drive all throughout the show here on News 3 Now this morning.
Looks more like spring showers versus a winter wonderland so
And it's
far,
washing away all the salt and the chemicals that they put down to pre-treat the road. So consider that this morning, too.
Yeah, interesting morning here. Let's take another live look at road conditions. This is the Wisconsin 511 map. Again, this map has not really changed at all this morning. The green means good winter driving conditions. Pink means some slippery stretches. Wisconsin 511 tends to overdo it just a little bit when it comes to those slippery stretches, so just keep that in mind. Right now, no main issues out on the roadways right now, no crashes to report at this hour.
All right, to our headlines this morning. And new this morning, a not guilty plea has been entered for the owner of a Linden Station bar accused of trying to blow it up last year. 43-year-old Heath Fjorden of Baraboo faces 5 felony charges for the September 1st fire and explosion at Beagle's Bar. A criminal complaint says investigators found overturned gas cans and soaked rags in the bar's basement after firefighters put out the flames. A trial in the case is now scheduled to start next January.
Madison police say a bank robbery suspect spit in an officer's face during an arrest. Investigators say an officer found him hiding out in a bathroom at a Madison shelter and found evidence linking him to a bank robbery at Park Bank on East Main. Police say he slipped the teller a note last Friday demanding money and never showed a weapon. At the time, he got away with a significant amount of cash. Now he'll be facing additional charges for discharging bodily fluids at a public worker.
One of the 2 men charged in a deadly shooting in downtown Madison last spring has been sentenced to life in prison. 21-year-old Damani Cummins pleaded guilty to 1 count of first-degree intentional homicide. He was arrested in connection with the shooting right outside of the Dane County Jail last March. At the time, Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes called the shooting very brazen and later added that it was premeditated, pre-planned, and targeted. A decision on whether or not Cummins is eligible for early release will be made at a later date. In the wake of Tyree Nichols' killing, we're seeking answers from our community leaders about what they're doing to ensure that we will avoid a similar incident. So today on News 3 Now at 5, we'll sit down live with a roundtable of 3 police chiefs from Madison, Janesville, and Beloit. Our Susan Simon will be asking big questions like, can they assure the public that their internal culture won't lead to similar incidents? And then tomorrow on News 3 Now at 5, we'll follow up live with 2 Madison area lawmakers and ask them if they believe the system itself is at fault.
6:36 right now. To President Biden's visit to Dane County was the president's first stop after his State of the Union address. Our Armand Rahman reports on the historic day for Wisconsin.
Well, hello, Madison. Hello, laborers.
The president's speech often felt like a conversation aimed at the laborers listening to him in DeForest.
For too long, workers have been getting stiffed. When jobs move overseas, factories at home close down. You saw it in Janesville.
He focused on his support for unions and the jobs he says his American Rescue Plan is funding.
Workforce development programs, including $128 million here in Wisconsin, dollars in Wisconsin, so American workers are prepared to compete in the economy we're building.
It was a stop many speculate was the soft launch of a re-election campaign. Congressman Mark Pocan was aboard Air Force One, welcoming the president into Dane County for the first time.
So he's really focusing on places like Wisconsin where we want to get people back to work.
It wasn't just job creation the president touted. He broke down what he calls the broken infrastructure and transportation he plans to fix in the state.
The Wisconsin River Bridge. Here in Madison, the mayor can tell you we're using the funding to buy 46 electric buses, replacing dirty diesel buses.
I mean, those are all great successes, but he also talked about what we have yet to do.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway listed what she believes should be priorities.
Washington must take action to help cities by addressing homelessness, expanding services for mental health, and protecting our civil rights, our reproductive rights, and especially our voting rights.
President Biden ended echoing his State of the Union speech the night before that success is possible with both sides of the aisle.
There's nothing beyond our capacity. if we work together.
In Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Right now, Senator Ron Johnson is focused on the southwest U.S.-Mexico border. Johnson and 5 of his colleagues have reintroduced a bill that would investigate the processing of migrants apprehended at the border. Senator Johnson says securing our southern border states starts with enforcing the law.
Happening tonight, the NFL will announce its next Hall of Fame class, and a UW Badger is a finalist. Joe Thomas is one of 15 candidates that has a chance to be enshrined in Canton, Ohio. At UW, Thomas won the Outland Trophy and was an All-American. He played 11 seasons in the pros with the Cleveland Browns and made the Pro Bowl all but one of those seasons. Thomas and the rest of the finalists will find out tonight during the NFL Honors Award Show.
Let's take a live look at State Farm Stadium in Arizona this morning. A record 50 million people are estimated to wager $16 billion on Super Bowl 57. Get this, betting is up 66% from last year. That's pretty significant. An estimated 100 million people will watch the game between the Chiefs and Eagles this Sunday.
Well, take a look at this. Maybe you've run a 5K, even a half or a full marathon. This guy here, he just ran an 86-day ultra marathon. 86 days. Savis Coben finished that trek across Peru, covering 3,200 miles. Can you imagine? To give you an idea of just how far 3,200 miles is, it's like running from New York to LA and then halfway back.
Oh, gosh.
He averaged about 37 miles every day. It's like Forrest Gump right there.
That is
a ton of energy. It looks like he could run another 86 days, huh?
So the most I've ever gone is a 10K before, so that's 6.2 miles.
Yeah, 6 or 8 miles from me. That was my peak.
That's
back in the day, I used to be able to run. No,
uphill both ways. Schools were never closed. We know that.
This morning,
this morning they are
closed. Just about every one of them. 80 school closings so far this morning. We've been having some troubles at channel3000.com. We think you guys overwhelmed our school closings page. Just up, though, on channel3000.com, we have a list. Somebody had to go in and type every closing in by hand.
Speaking of the good old days, yeah.
Yeah. So you can find a complete list of school closings. Once again, on our website, there is a link right at the top of the webpage. So go check that out. If you don't feel like we still want you to stick around, but
just watch the bottom of the screen.
There you go. We're keeping an eye on the roads out there this morning. Photojournalist Mark Schilling is on the live drive. We're going to check in with him in just a moment. Here at the I-39-90-94 interchange, it's wet. We've been seeing some rain, heavy at times, as we continue to wait for it to transition over into snow. A live report coming up.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
At Pick and Save, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Race to savings on everything you need right now at Menards. Sylvania's True Wave LED bulbs provide the closest lighting to natural sunlight. This helps you feel better and see things easier by offering an enhanced color experience, which show colors, whites, and skin tones with exceptional contrast. Receive a $10 rebate with a purchase of $40 or more on Sylvania True Wave LED bulbs. Race to savings now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Low E has hurt my ability to perform.
He hasn't been able to make the bed in years.
Now there's hope. Now through February 16th, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and turn your low energy into big fitness energy in 2023 in a clean and spacious, judgment-free zone with tons of equipment to get you energized.
Low E, not for me.
Simply join through the free PF app for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, February 16th.
It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. Get started on your next Ford SUV, like Bronco, Explorer, or the new Escape. Get here to get get a deal on the SUV's #1 in brand loyalty. It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. During Auto Show, choose FlexBuy on Escape, Edge, or Explorer with 3.9% APR financing for 66 months plus 1,000 Auto Show cash.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Pick and Save, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Rest comfortably with brands you can trust at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Create a unique and stylish room with made-in-the-USA products from companies like Smith Brothers of Bern. Select from a wide variety of sofas at a great price.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
It looks like your bank calling, but it's not.
There was nothing that was a red flag to me.
Bank imposters are stealing money from accounts without a trace.
As much and as fast as possible, and then they're gone.
Arman Rahman exposes a scam that's tricking bank customers into losing their savings.
If the scammers can impersonate it, they will.
News 3 Now is getting answers to help you avoid becoming the next target of bank imposters. Tonight at 10.
News 3 Now this morning.
We're back at 6:44. Still raining.
Still raining.
Still raining in the Madison metro area as we are driving on the Beltline this morning. Rain has been heavy at times. We're just not cold enough. So this has impacted snow totals today because, you know, a lot of this moisture is falling as rain.
There was a plow or a salt truck that Photojournal's Mark Schilling just met on the other side. So I suppose they're just kind of keeping an eye out there if the temperature gets close enough to freezing.
But like we've been talking about all morning, all those pre-treated roads, if they put down salt or the chemicals, this rain, because there's been so much of it, it's just washed all that stuff off. So we'll continue to track it. We're going to keep Mark out on the live drive throughout our news cut-ins through the 9 o'clock hour. Maybe by then it'll be snowing.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll
be able to tell you live. 6:45 right now. We also have some developing stories to talk about. The search is on for a new superintendent for Madison schools after Dr. Carlton Jenkins announced he plans to retire in July. 3 years ago, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, Jenkins began his role at MMSD. In his State of the District address last week, Jenkins said the district had made strides during his tenure. Jenkins said the motivating factor behind the decision was to spend more time with family, specifically his 3-year-old grandson. The district added in the coming weeks, the school board will discuss the next steps on hiring a new superintendent.
Oh, those grandkids. They have an influence.
They take some time,
All right, let's get to Kelly Slifka and that first warn forecast. You've adjusted snow totals within the last hour or so, Kelly.
I adjusted them down a little bit. Everything's just getting delayed. We're still expecting this to transition to some snow, but probably maybe changing over to snow here in Madison, at least most areas, after 8 o'clock, a little bit closer to 9 o'clock. Eventually, mid to late morning hours, that's when it will probably pick up in intensity, even into the noon hour. That's when we'll probably see the most impact. That's why we do have the first warn alert day. Snow total accumulation 2 to 6. A lot of this is going to be melting on contact, but as it's coming down fairly heavily, at least for a time later this morning, we could be seeing some accumulation on the roads and obviously reduced visibilities with it coming down at a very good clip. We've had mainly just rain here in the Madison area. There might be a little bit of sleet mixed in here in parts of northern Dane County as you head up toward the Wisconsin River. Areas to the south and east, just mainly rain and some heavy rain. When all is said and done, all this liquid content will be over an inch for some, so it's going to be a lot of moisture coming in out of this system. Once that transitions to some snow, it will come down at a pretty good clip. But right now in Madison, just some rain. I expect this to transition probably another hour or so, maybe an hour and a half before it starts to transition, and then it will come down heavily. We're looking at some winter weather advisories continue for most areas. Winter storm warning still in Grant County. It looks like mainly southern Grant County will see the bulk of the snow. Temperatures, as mentioned, above freezing, 34 in Madison, 34 in the Dells. Not expecting a whole lot of snow snow north of the Dells. 34 in Oregon, is Stoughton as well. All our temperatures are above freezing. I do not expect them to drop below 32, so no icing expected. But we are expecting this to transition to some snow. 8, 9 o'clock, heavy snow at times as we go through the mid to late morning hours, maybe even into the noon hour. Then things start to wind down after 2 o'clock. Things start to move on to the east. Just some flurries is expected as you're headed home from work or school. And noticing temperatures do remain above freezing. This is our future track. Most of the snow coming in later this morning into the early afternoon hours, and you can see that the heaviest band is going to fall from about Platteville, Mineral Point through Madison, then up toward Watertown and Juneau. You go north of the Dells, hardly anything, about 1 to 2 inches down toward Janesville. So the alert day today for your first warn forecast for Friday, we're looking at 30, breezy. This weekend looks dry, looks actually pretty nice, 34 on Saturday, all the way up to 40 on Sunday.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Time right now is 6:48. Let's see what's happening in the 608 this morning. Dip for Dozers set to celebrate 18 years in giving back in Cambridge this weekend, and you are invited to be part of it.
We had 27 dippers the first year that we dipped, and now last year we had over 100 dippers. It's became quite the event in Cambridge and something that we look forward to as a community annually.
Dippers meaning exactly what you think, just in the frozen Lake Ripley in the middle of winter. It was established in memory of Dustin Dozer Zulsdorf. Dip for Dozer is the primary fundraising event for the Dozer 52 football scholarship in Cambridge. The dip brings many back home for the weekend. It is the community coming together, making a positive impact on Dozer's family and keeping his memory alive.
It's for a good cause. And so doing something that you don't necessarily want to do for a good cause, I think is a great representation of who he was. I think Friday nights football, the stadium's always packed. Whether they're winning or losing, it doesn't matter. It's just something that brings everyone together, but that was kind of his life.
Since 2004, the Dozer 52's football scholarship has awarded over $200,000 to 78 Cambridge students. The funds are raised right here at home and stay local. This year's dip is set for this Saturday. The fun starts at 11:30 at Lake Ripley Park Beach in Cambridge. I've posted links with more information on channel3000.com. I do have to give a quick shout out to Jace, who you heard from there, that first sound bite. He was just named UW Whitewater head football coach this week.
Hey, that's a big deal.
So we had talked to him just before that happened. So it is official this morning, so congratulations to him.
Love to see that. All right, hey, if you have an idea for Josh here for In the 608, something that inspires you, reach out on social media or email him for a chance to be featured.
All right, 6:50 is your time right now. Coming up in the morning sprint, we continue to monitor our alert day forecast.
Yes, we are keeping an eye on the roads this morning, too. Mark Schilling is about to head back onto the Beltline, it looks like.
There's a plow.
There's one of the plows. They're waiting for the snow, too. An update right after this. Oh, we want to say happy birthday to Adeline, who's turning 3 today. Happy birthday, Adeline. Thanks for celebrating with News 3 Now this morning.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Ashley's President's Day Mattress Marathon starts now. Save up to 75% on mattress doorbusters from the top brands while they last. Or save big on Purple and Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Only at Wisconsin's #1 mattress retailer, Ashley.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. And if you haven't tried Plexiderm, we've created the best offer yet with our Valentine's Day Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. Even the 11 lines between your eyes are visibly gone in minutes. Plexiderm works so well that celebrities in Hollywood and people just like you feel years younger in minutes. This is why I'm letting people try it for only $14.95 this Valentine's Day at plexidermtrial.com.
So I've had under eye bags for a very long time, and it sucks. I have spent so much money on tons of eye creams, eye gels. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm, and I'm not joking. It works. When I do a collage and everything is done, it looks amazing. That is exactly how Plexiderm makes me feel. I put it on my face, and somehow, some way, I look together, which is amazing. I'm Jackie, and I took the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge, and so should you.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there, like the bags are gone.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale rock. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under-eye bags and wrinkles in minutes. This Valentine's Day is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. So if under-eye bags make you look tired or feel older, take action this Valentine's Day and see that younger-looking you. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Garage doors don't like the cold weather, but if it breaks, Precision Garage Door is always ready.
Does not matter if it's raining or snowing or any kind of other weather conditions, we're going to get it done on the same day. We know how important that is to our customers.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
One of the most beloved and respected Chicago bands ever to explode onto the national scene. The Buckinghams live concerts pack power into 60s pop rock. Presented by the Middleton Friends of the Performing Arts Center. February 11th at 7:30. Tickets on sale now.
Ashley's biggest President's Day sale ever starts now. Get the very best deals of the season on furniture and mattress doorbusters, now up to 60% off. Plus 60-month special financing and delivery in as fast as 3 days on in-stock merchandise. Happening now at Ashley.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
6:54, time for the morning sprint.
Let's get back out to the live drive this morning on the Beltline. Still raining. We're waiting for that snow just like everybody else. It's a rain day for schools. We have about 80 closings in the viewing area. I do not remember the last time it's been that high. We have a new link on channel3000.com with all of those closings listed so you can check your community.
Let's take a live look at State Farm Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona this morning, where a record 50 million people are estimated to wager $16 billion on Super Bowl 57 this coming Sunday. That is up 66% from last year. An estimated 100 million people will watch the game between the Chiefs and the Eagles for Super Bowl this Sunday.
President Biden scheduled to continue his post-State of the Union blitz today. He is headed to Florida to talk about Medicare and Social Security. His visit to Madison yesterday went smoothly. He was in town for about 5 hours, speaking to union construction workers in DeForest. It was the first time a sitting president had visited Dane County in more than a decade.
The date has been set for the funeral of a Milwaukee police officer that was killed in the line of duty earlier this week. Funeral services for Officer Peter Gervain will be held this Monday morning from 9 to 11. It's happening at the Elmbrook Church in Brookfield. Gervain was 37 years old at his end of watch.
A small plane had a hard landing and went off the runway at the Waukesha County Airport. Officials haven't said what led up to that plane going off the runway yet, but it appears that the front landing gear collapsed. There have been no reports of any injuries.
All right, good morning. First warning meteorologist Kelly Slifka. We still have the rain coming down pretty heavily. You might see a few sleet pellets mixed in. Transition to a little bit of snow off to the north and west. I think in Madison we will see this transition to snow, but probably another hour and a half. Right now we're above freezing. We're sitting in the 30s, so that should not be a problem, any kind of freezing. But some heavier snow expected later this morning into the early afternoon before it starts to taper off. Later today, noticing temperatures do remain above freezing, just some snow showers. Later this afternoon, it will be windy as well with those northwest winds up there at 15 to 25. Improves tomorrow into the weekend.
All right, stay with News 3 now. This morning, we'll have a live update for you on the current conditions for this alert day at 7:26.